got some Mary in my backpack. Abstracts, thought I got some pen and paper. Fit the whiskey, coke, berry flapjacks. Roll it up and put it to my lips, no need to pass there. So up in summertime, I undermine the underlying fact that I scrape pennies, but I want a dime. She's something else, I got it now. Well, yeah, my dude, she's something fine. And since I got a shot at her, they salty. I tell them suck a lime, I wasn't mine. Now I'm just clowning, trying to scrape a number. Smile after I take it from her. Copacetic today, but in 2 days disintegrate to bummers. I thought I won her over, but I just created blunders. The game I hate and love her. Thinking back to times of playing B because of breaking rubbers. I was a wild child and still extra. All these women still extra. I'm just trying to find an ill chick and a chill spectrum to make my broken heart feel better. Let the ship set sail off to adventure. Got some Mary in my backpack. Abstracts, thought I got some pen and paper. Fit the whiskey, coke, berry flapjacks. Roll it up and put it to my lips, no need to pass. Let the ship set sail off to adventure. Got some Mary in my backpack. Abstracts, thought I got some pen and paper. Fit the whiskey, coke, berry flapjacks. Roll it up and put it to my lips, no need to pass there. Pass there. Pass there. Pass there. Pass there. Pass there.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. I appreciate all that have not forgotten about me. I appreciate all that still show up. My faithfuls, Cosmo, I appreciate you, brother. Octopus with no friends, I appreciate you, brother. Fuck that big. Oh, flick it. Sorry. My eyes are still a little hazy off that rip. You feel me? But yeah, appreciate it. Appreciate everybody sticking with me. I know I've been out past week and a half. I've been busy doing some jobs over in Florida and shit. If you were on the main card minute, you know how the fuck it was going down. But I'm back again. It is your favorite and only Black MMA analyst. All the rest are former UFC fighters. So I'm basically the only one. So appreciate you for showing love to me, because one day we'll be on ESPN. You already know. I'm the host of this here show. My name's Gav. I do this shit every weekend except for the last one. But you did see me on the main card minute. So, technically still holding strong. But I do this shit every week. I give you guys MMA and boxing tips, picks, parlays, tricks, all that shit. And I'm back again to give you guys another wrap up of what happened last week, a little nosedive into what we're doing this week. I mean, the MMA world just keeps getting turned on its head, don't it? We're trying to get to 650 subs, so please, if you haven't already, send this shit to a friend. Send it to a fucking lonely friend that sucks at MMA betting and boxing betting, and they just want a little fucking help. Send them this channel. I got your back, dog. We gon' cash. Last week, I got your back. We cashed. High risk cash. Now, 2 legs didn't go through, but it was plus 114. So we cashed. So appreciate anybody showing love to the channel. We are now streaming on Kick, guys. This is our first stream on Kick. We've been on YouTube. We've been on Twitch. This is our first one. So you might see some Kick streamers in the chat saying, what's up? All right, just flick it a bigger. All right, laugh out loud. The one and only MMA homie. Yes, sir. I love that, Octopus with no friends. The one and only MMA homie. And then Harry Scarecrow says, at One More Round Fights, let's promote you. Come in, blank.com. Hey, fuck it. I might check it out. This might be the first sponsor, the first promoter that took us seriously on this channel. I'll check it out, Harry. And then Cosmo says, holding it down for the black MMA community, all 12. Shit. Well, we got Rashad, we got Kamaru, we got Tyron, we got Dean Thomas, we got Daniel Cormier, we got Karen O'Brien. Oh, well, it used to be, but she's out the fold. So yeah, I'm still me. All right. I'm dehydrated and not high enough. Been working all morning, cleaning and moving heavy shit. I feel that, Octopus. Brother, let me tell you one thing. I came back from Florida, sunny Florida. Okay. I was in Florida doing Daytona. Okay. They had a 24-hour race. I was technical directing a Lego stream for that. All right. Just doing some cash shit over in Florida. 80 degrees, high 70s all week, just loving life. I come home, 12 to 16 inches of snow. Got to get moved out my driveway. Got to get moved out the walkway. Got to get moved so Aoli could take a shit in the backyard. It was not a warm welcome home. It was the coldest of welcomes. I mean, luckily I had my jacket, I had some sweats on, thick old beanie. I was chilling. I'm ready. I have my JBR beanie. Shout out to Just Bleed Radio. That beanie is a godsend. It is so warm on the inside, brother. I mean, it's got this fur. Just hold on. Do I have it right here? Here, I do. I do have it right here. Check this thing out, brother. It is cozy. I was rocking this thing. Oh, look at the beauty on this JBR beanie. Appreciate you guys, man. That thing saved me when I got back to New York. I was like, hold on, where my JBR beanie at? Put that thing right on. I was cozy as fuck. So appreciate my guys over at Just Bleed Radio. Always showing love to y'all. If you guys haven't checked them out, they're a great way to consume your audio content. So yeah. Octopus with no friend says, oh, hell yeah, that's cool. And okay, I'm officially jealous. Where the hell is my beanie, right? Hey, JBR, hit the people up, man. They need that. That beanie is money, baby. That's I think that is, if not my Guinness beanie, that is the best beanie I own. So yeah, shout out to Just Bleed Radio. I love that hat. And it matches my jacket. As you can see that. Oh, can't see. Okay, still can't see. There we go. That gray jacket right behind me, next to my PRS guitar. That is my signature jacket, and it matches perfectly with my Just Bleed Radio beanie. So you will probably see me at the airport in that a lot throughout the next 2 or 3 months. Just saying. Definitely got a trip coming up next month as well. I don't think it interferes with any events, so I think we should be cool. We should be cool in that respect. But yeah, so we're trying to get to that sub goal, 750. Don't forget to follow the other channels as well. I'm live over at the Main Card Minute. That's where we were at this weekend. We got to do a watch along for UFC 324. I toughed it out the whole time, even though I had to wake up at 12:45 a.m. for work that day because, again, 24-hour stream. But, I toughed it out till about 12:15, took a shower, worked the event, no sleep, passed out after the event for 8 hours, had some festivities with the boys. Luke will hear about that off stream. And then and then went back to sleep for another 8 hours, got up, had a day, So, and then we got back home. But yeah, don't forget, scan both channels. We're trying to get bigger. I mean, Make Our Minute blowing up with the prop quiz. I was this close. I was that close, Jose. I'll get my rematch in the future. But this year, a bridesmaid, not a bride. Jose is the champion. It is what it is. And again, just because I like to say this, Make Our Minute on your left, one more round fights on your right. So scan them QR codes, become part of the channel. Shout out to our loan sponsor, W.GG. Use promo code one more round for 10% off. That is promo code one more round for 10% off. And if you got some awesomeness to send to the email, please do so. Okay. One more round fights. It is what it is. We get shit done. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. This is what we have the show for, right? So let's talk about it. We have, honestly, a lot. Oh, shit. Octopus with No Friend says, dude, I used to have a PRS. Damn. I was gonna sell it literally like maybe 2 months ago, just before Christmas. I was gonna sell it, and I was like, "Nah, bro, I can't." I just looked at it. I played it like a couple more times, and I was like, "You know what? Nah, it got to stay in the family. I can't let you go." I think I bought my PRS back in like 2017. I actually still have the receipt in the bag. Let me see if I could grab it. I can grab it. Let's see when I actually got this thing. What the fuck is it? There it is. Holy shit. Look how crusty this thing is. Look how crusty this fucking receipt is. Hold on. Can you see it in the? It's like browning. That's how old this receipt is. All right. Let's see. These are accessories, but the date on this says it doesn't say a date. Doesn't say a date on this one. Oh God. 11 12/31 14. Holy shit. I bought this after Christmas but before New Year's. That's weird. 12/31/2014. So I've had this guitar 11 years. Holy shit. Holy shit. And MSRP was 1,300 on this bad boy when I got it. So fuck. Appreciate this. Yeah, so I couldn't sell it after a decade in the fam playing it. That PRS is staying, and it's not going anywhere. But all right, let's talk about the reason we're here. All right. We got a lot of MMA updates, people. Not too many, but we got some hard hitters. We got some heavy hitters. Okay. The biggest news of the week, which has dropped about 90 minutes ago. All right. You might hear it here first. You might hear it elsewhere first. But to me, this was blasphemous. Happy for the guy, but I really wish I could have seen what he did in the UFC. Patchy Mix has officially been released from the UFC after just 2 fights. He signs with Ryzen. He's announced for a fight March 7th. His next matchup, he moves up to 145 pounds, and he's scheduled to face Kiyoma Akimoto on the Tokyo card in Ryzen. Patchy Mix is no longer a UFC fighter. He ends his UFC career 0-2. Wow. This surprised the fuck out of me. I don't know about y'all, but seeing this, I was like, hold up. This is a different Mix, right? This is Mix Trail or something. This is not the Patchy Mix. This is not my Patchy. No. Yes, our Patchy. Our Patchy Mix is no longer in the UFC, guys. Crazy. The UFC dropped him like a bad habit. Didn't expect to see that coming. I know 0-2, like it can happen to some guys. It doesn't usually happen to high-profile guys like a Patchy Mix, which is why I'm so confused. Which is why I was in honest to God awe when I heard it. I was like, nah. Wait, really? They cut him? Yeah. The UFC has cut Patchy Mix. They have parted ways, whether it be mutually or not. They have parted ways. Patchy Mix is scheduled to fight for Ryzen on March 7th against Kiyoma Akimoto. And you'll be hard-pressed to find someone sadder about this than me, man. I was a big Patchy Mix guy. His potential could have been something amazing in the UFC. And yeah, Patchy didn't do too well in the UFC, but keep in mind, the first 2 matchups my man got. He got Mario Bautista, okay, who almost took out Umar, who just blanked Davison Figueiredo last week, mind you. And Jacob Wicklax, albeit a very new fighter on the UFC scene. He's been around a long time and has seen it all throughout the camps of Joanna Jędrzejczyk. So I got a feel for him. 2 tough matchups, really tough guys that are going to go far. We're going to see both of those guys make very far runs in the UFC. And then we're going to be like, damn, we're going to look back at this like, fuck, that's the 2 guys that they gave Patchy to start off. And then they cut him after that. Like, kind of makes you think. It kind of makes you think like, huh, was there a plan to get him out of there? Yo, Gav, how are your day, brother? Lunch at work? Did you expect on? Wait, how's your day, brother? How's your day? You're on lunch at work. Did you? Yeah, I did not expect that. Enjoy your lunch, brother. Hope you're eating something good. Hope you're eating something good. Not too greasy, so you can get right back into it. Something a little healthy side. I hope. But yeah, Nikki V says, "What the fuck, really?" Yeah. Goal unclear is crying about this shit. He's like, "How the fuck? Patchy's gone. Patchy is gone, brother. He is gone from the UFC. He's now fighting in Ryzen. We got to wake up at 3 a.m. to go watch this motherfucker fight or watch the highlights the next day if you're in the US. We are no longer going to be able to watch Patchy in the UFC and watch his beautiful career bloom. This is crazy. This is crazy to me. Their relationship messed up both of their careers. I agree, Nikki V. I agree. I mean, wait, are we talking? Wait, when you said that, are we talking Tatiana? No, not that. I mean, the UFC and Patchy. I think it's just the fighter coming from a rival promotion thing. I feel like whenever you get a guy like that, you never get favorable matchups. Who's getting favorable matchups coming over from other places? I mean, wasn't Ill Will Brooks's first fight somebody crazy? Hold up. Let me look at Will Brooks. Yeah, I'm taking it back, bitch. I didn't say Eddie Alvarez. I said Will Brooks, ho. You know what I'm saying? Will Brooks's first fight in the UFC was Ross Pearson. Okay. He might have gotten a little of a layup. No offense to Ross Pearson. Low-key kind of layup-y. Then he got Alex Cowboy Oliveira. In 2016, Cowboy was a motherfucker, but he was missing weight out here. So a little bit of a layup. And then he got Charles Oliveira. Now they're like, okay, let's fucking let's chill. Okay. Yeah, Ill Will didn't get the best run in the UFC. Cowboy, the Bronx, and then Nick Lentz. Nick Lentz fucking sick on the ground. So, I mean, you don't really get favorable matchups coming up from other promotions. They're not going to give you a layup to make you fucking awesome. Okay? They want to prove that they have the best competition. They did that to Patchy. Patchy didn't do too well, and now we have to watch him over in Ryzen. Now, I thought we'd see like a PFL transition, but maybe there's like a clause or somewhere. I'm not talking from truth or anything. I'm just letting the wheels turn as to why he wouldn't go with a PFL, as to why he wouldn't go with, one championship or something like that, like straight to Ryzen. I know he fought over there. I know he's familiar with the competition, yes, but I mean, if I'm an MMA fighter, Ryzen wouldn't have been my first choice. No offense to them. That's all I have to say. And just on inactivity alone, he's about to. Do you see Ryzen cards every month? I don't. I could see one championship fight nights and shit every month. I could see PFLs at least every other month, mainly every month. UFC for damn sure holds down the whole year. So that's why I'm like, I'm not sure what this career move was. I'm happy for Patchy. Go get your money, honey. But yeah, not happy for what this will do to the career in the long run. Because if I'm not mistaken, he's not the youngest. He's 32. If you're going to waste 2 or 3 years over in Ryzen, coming back as a 34, 35-year-old bantamweight, maybe staying at featherweight, but even now, people doubt Volk at 35 as a champion. So you coming back saying you're going to build, over there. I don't know if you're ending your career over there. I don't know if you're just starting your career over there, trying to resurgence, a rebuild. I don't know what the plan is, but 32 years at bantamweight. Time's a ticking, my brother. Time is a ticking. He must have left himself. No, yeah, Nikki, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yep, that's right, bro. Him and his girl ruined their careers. It was, yeah. I don't know what happened over there. I mean, Tatiana still got a route to victory here. She's one win away from a title shot. She is one, or does she have a title shot booked? No, right? Somebody else? Yeah, so one win away. She's right in there. Not bantamweight. Strawweight, incredibly thin right now. Especially with a couple bouts being canceled recently. We'll talk about that. Actually, maybe I'll just talk about that next. We figured out why Jillian Robertson's bout against Yasmin Lucindo was canceled in our last card of the UFC in 2025. UFC strawweight Yasmin Lucindo received a 9-month suspension for a positive drug test. Lucindo tested positive for the presence of mesterlone, a prohibited at all time substance in the class of anabolic agents of the UFC prohibited list, from an out of competition sample collected on September 24th of 2025 in Feira de Santana, Brazil. CSAD officials wrote in a statement, upon notification of this adverse analytical finding from the laboratory, the UFC immediately removed Lucindo Bezerra from her scheduled bout on December 13th, 2025 in Las Vegas, Nevada. She was originally scheduled to face Jillian Robertson, and that was the bout that canceled and killed the rest of Jillian Robertson's year in 2025. So, yeah, not cool. Not cool. She's out for a little while. We'll see her past the White House card at some point. It is what it is. It is what it is. We'll probably see her sometime November, December. I don't see an October bout, but you know how they get anxious if they've been sitting out for that long. So it is what it is. Yoel Romero is out of BKFC Knucklemania 6. Lorenzo Hunt gets a new opponent. But throughout this, for some reason, Yoel Romero still has a fucking beef with Bo Nickel because he's still talking shit to him, saying he's protecting himself and his UFC career by declining the RF match. I mean, brother, aren't you out of Knucklemania with me? So you can wrestle, but you can't throw hands? Like, I don't know, bro. Like, this shit doesn't make sense anymore. These guys outside the UFC just want to pick on guys in the UFC when they're younger. Bo, let the fucking what's the fucking saying about ducks? Let the bead roll off the duck's back or some shit. Whatever, bro. Just don't even listen to that shit. You got bigger fish to fry. Your career's on the rise. You just got a beautiful knockout this past UFC Madison Square Garden. Don't let these other guys get in your head, brother. Just keep doing you. Don't even take. Honestly, why the fuck are you taking these matches outside of the UFC? This is the top. You're literally about to enter the most rigorous portion of your career, and it's not going to get easier from here, brother. I would pretty much stop taking all these fucking jujitsu, these RAFs, these other shits, and focus exclusively and entirely on what you got ahead of you. So I'm not mad at Bo Nickel for declining matchups in RAF and all this other shit. Brother, what are we doing? You are a UFC fighter. These other guys are fucking Knucklemania guys. What the fuck are we doing? They're karate combat guys. No offense to either of those promotions, but you're in the UFC, Bo Nickel. Please take it seriously. I see these other guys doing it. Yeah, Arman has a reason to do this shit because he's not getting the competition he wants. Okay. And he's established. Okay. Do you, Arman? And he's rich, so he doesn't need the money. Do you, Arman? Bo, stop taking this other shit, brother. Stop taking this other shit. It's unnecessary. And now you're getting your head off the task at hand, which is mixed martial artists. You already did the wrestling thing. Now it's time to apply that wrestling to mixed martial arts. Let's stop this RAF shit. No offense to RAF. That's not the proving ground for this type of talent. Sorry. Chandler got Hooker. Patricio got Yair. Patchy got Bautista. MVP got Holland. Yeah. You know what I mean? Holland's no easy slouch, brother. Holland, one of my Marvel superheroes, bro. We'll talk about that later. Wait, no, is he DC? I forget what I had him as. But anyways, MVP has been going to best out of MVP has been going to best out of the new signings. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, right? He only had the one loss to Ian Machado Gary and then all other dubbers, beating top talent. So shout out to MVP. One of my guys coming over from Bellator, I was like, yo, he's going to be a problem anywhere he goes. Any fucking where he goes. And yes, he has been. We haven't been getting the highlight reel knockouts, but we've been getting some social media worthy moments. And honestly, that's all they really want in the end anyways. Remember UFC makes like 90% of all money earned in MMA, right? So that it's confusing to me for Patchy. I don't know. Rising fighters get tough matchups too. It's probably due to their pay structure being higher, so harder fights. Yeah, also, so you might be taking a tougher matchup. You might be getting paid better, but you're definitely taking some tougher matchups and risking your career. It's tough, man. All you gotta do is remember our boy Sage Northcutt. Rest in peace. Not actually, but you know what I mean. His career. Cosmo says, when does Poaton's sister fight in the UFC? Houston card? I'm not entirely sure. Let's check, shall we? Let's check. Houston card. That will be February 21st. Strickland Hernandez. Pineda. I don't see her here. I see Michelle, but I don't see Aline. I don't see it, love. I don't see it. It's not Houston. Let's see. They definitely put her in, like, maybe it's Mexico City. Could it be Mexico City? Nope. Eileen Perez is on that card. Let's see. You got me digging now. I'm deep in the weeds. Where we at? Women's. Don't see any women's on here. Moving on. Emmett versus Vallejo. Not on here either. Jalen Robertson taking on Amanda Lemos. I like that matchup for her. People are going to be like, oh, Amanda Lemos going to put some hands on her. Wait till she's on her back, brother. Wait till she's on her fucking back. Jilly Bean, let's get it. Let's fucking go, Jilly Bean. Alexa Grasso, Macy Barber. Not seeing anything. Cool. Tatiana Suarez, Lupi Godinez. April 11th. Yeah, I don't see her listed on any of these cards unless there's like Bautista Oliveira. Yeah, I don't see her listed anywhere. I don't know when her next fight is. I don't know, love. Patchy and his girl both look bad in their matches. It just looks like they're not advancing. I don't know. Tatiana could definitely take out Lupi. What? She's definitely the better wrestler. It's Lupi's sister, excuse me. That was an Olympic wrestler, I believe. She just has it in the family. Feel me? Let's get our ducks in a row. Oh, maybe that's it. Let it roll like the water. Yeah, that's it. That's it, Nikki V. Let it roll like water off the duck's back. That's what I was talking about. Bing Rips and bullshit. What up, Octopus? And then DC for Holland. He's black man. He's not Batman. Oh, man. All right, let's what else we got in MMA updates? I got a couple. Oh, yeah. Volk and Lopez with the shirtless face-off at Thursday's press conference. I mean, we had Dan Hooker at the press conference, Benoit Saint-Denis, Rafael Fiziev, Hoofy, Tai Tuivasa, Taliesin Teixeira. What a lineup, huh? What a lineup. Whew. Not a lot of English on that lineup, but what a lineup. You know what I mean? Mackenzie Dern wants to fight Zhang Wei Li. I'm going to say Zhile Zhang. What are we fucking talking boxing? Yeah, Wang Zhe Li. What the fuck am I saying? Wang Zhe Li. Zhe Li Wang. Wang Zhang Wei Li. She wants to fight her to prove she's the real champion. I don't know, man. That's a fucking bad matchup, Mackenzie. We need you. Mackenzie, chill out, man. Yo, can we have you just like do some covers and shit? Do some promos, come out at the fucking red carpets and shit with Brian Ortega and shit. Do some more shit like that. Let's squeeze as much as we can out of this. All right. You talk about Wei Li, my girl. You're talking about Wei Li, one of the best strong. You want her right away? You barely got past Jandaroba and you want her right away? Chill out, yo. Get yourself a warm-up. She's coming out, brother, sister. She is coming off a fucking 25-minute embarrassing ass whooping to Valentina Shevchenko, and you want to be the first person she faces? Chill out, please. Mackenzie, we want you as the champ for a little while longer. Relax, please. For me, at the very least, do it for me. Just chill. Gotta go, Gav. I hate work, but I'll be on with you in Long Island Luke on Saturday night. Can't wait. Peace, boys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have fun at work. Polish it off real good, all right? But yeah, Mackenzie, relax. All right. I know you just became champ. I know, blah, 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 blah. Just. You're probably going to get her in your first bout, unfortunately for us. But yeah, I respect the moxie she got for wanting that fight this early. That's not what I want because I think I know what happens. Dan Hooker makes a dubious claim about Conor and Patty. Something about how Patty was talking shit about Conor, and Conor, being the Irish gangster that he is, pulled up. He pulled up right outside this motherfucking crib. He said, Patty, where the fuck you at? I heard your dog shit out somebody's crib around here. All right. I'm at your crib. Come outside. And apparently Dan Hooker says Patty ain't come outside. Patty refused to come outside. So I'm digging this bad blood brewing between Patty Pimblett and Dan Hooker. I'm loving it. Dan Hooker needs someone to hate to have a good bout. You know what I mean? You could see him struggling this fight week with Benoit Saint-Denis because he's such a nice guy, which is another reason why I think he might lose this bout. But it is what it is. We're gonna kind of need Dan Hooker and Patty to be coming off L's to set this shit up. But yeah, Dan Hooker focusing a lot on stuff outside his actual bout this week, which is another bad sign for me for Dan Hooker. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm liking all this. I'm liking all these beefs coming out. I'm like, I'm kind of liking the Gaethje one instead of Patty. I'm liking all the shit. Oh, and then Saryukian recently mentioned on Mr. Ariel Helwani's show that he would consider a drop to 145 pounds if he were to challenge Alexander Volkanovski and get a title shot at his featherweight strap. Volk responds to it by saying he loves challenges. I mean, that's the type of dude that Volk is. If Armand wants to suck his fucking water out his head and come down to 145, fuck it. You could come get smacked up too, is what Volk said. I'm paraphrasing for Volk. We know Volk ain't gonna talk shit, but that's what Volk is thinking. He's like, oh, you want to take some water out your head and come face the goat, bitch? I'm fucking around. But yeah. I don't like that matchup for Armand. I know Armand's small. He's wide as fuck, which is why it works for him at lightweight, but he's not the tallest man. He could probably make 45 and not suck too much water out his body, but I still favor Volk in that, man. You got to have cardio there. And that's what some of that weight cut takes away from you. It takes away some of that cardio. 5-round fight where Volk has been doing this, and he's true to this. I got to take Volk in that 45 matchup, brother. I don't care if he's 35. I don't care if he's 36 when he takes the bout. I got to take Volk. I seen the man pull out of multiple submissions. All right. I got to take Volk. Cub Swanson versus Nate Landwehr is set for UFC 327, April 11th at the Kaseya Center in Miami. I believe that's the same card that Tatiana and Lupi's on, possibly. If not, maybe it's like Macy, Alexa Grasso on that card. But yeah, I'm excited. Cub Swanson has never been in a boring bout, and Nate Landwehr seems like the perfect guy to step in against him in a bout like that. I mean, coming to mind is the Duho Choi Cub Swanson fight, the Cub Swanson Darren Elkins fight. Like, man, this is a Nate Landwehr type. Nate Landwehr's a plug and play right here. You know what I mean? I'm already picturing his bloody nose, his screaming if he wins, his screaming if he loses. Man, this is going to be some good shit. I can't wait. April 11th, Kaseya Center, Miami. And then just think about Nate the Train in Miami. That's a problem, brother. That is a problem. I can't wait. That's gonna be a fun fight week. That's a personality you throw on that motherfucking fight week right there. Oh yeah. Cosmo says Fiziev with 28 years later hair like Solomon. I'm not betting against that, man. Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I don't know, man. There's times where I'm like Fiziev all day. I gotta choose Fiziev, and with that, how Hoofy looked in that last bout. And how Fiziev looked in his bouts against Gaethje, I got to be leaning Fiziev too. I got to be. especially with Fiziev, now seeing what Gaethje can do and seeing the level that he's at, that's got to be motivation. And then seeing what Hoofy did in his last fight. But then again, you got to factor in these guys from Fighting Nerds. I know Hoofy hasn't been training there this camp. He's been training with Volkanovski, so he's going to have a couple more tricks in his tool shed. But we've seen Gene Silva improve. How much has Hoofy improved? I don't know. That's going to be a tough one for me to pick. I think that's a fight that's going to be staying out of most of my parlays, if I'm being honest. If I'm being completely and utterly honest. The co-main is probably going to make it into at least my high risk. The mains definitely make it into the high risk, if not the regular. But yeah, picks to be coming later in the show. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. And then we need bad blood rivalries in MMA. The game has been too transactional lately. Far too transactional lately, brother. I've had no motivation for a lot of these fights. Like, even, bro, we should have had plenty of motivation for the Yan Dvalishvili fight, and all of us thought it was a foregone conclusion, except for the people that believed in Yan, that like the same shit was going to happen, and Merab was going to win his 4th time in a row. Like, even when Merab had beef with certain fighters, it wasn't like beef. It didn't get us going like a Conor beef would, or like a DC Jones beef would, or like a, who else? Topuria Patty and Goliath Poetan. Like, none of these got it going. You know what I mean? Like, it felt superficial. It felt within the last couple fights, this is built up. But I feel like if we got like a Dan Hooker, Patty Pimblett beef going, that shit would stretch back years and years through training partners, through other shit. It would, cross continents. Oh yeah, that's that shit. That's what I need right there. You know what I mean? I'm sorry it has to be at y'all's expense, but that I'm officially intrigued. Like, even the Kayla Amanda shit, it's like kind of does it, but it still doesn't do it. It doesn't scratch the itch. You know what I mean? It doesn't get, like, maybe that Tom Aspinall Cyril gone. Now we got a nicely planted seed. We got the European thing going. You know what I mean? England, France. You didn't help us in the war. You know what I mean? Some shit like that. Like that could maybe get some shit going right there. But for the most part, brother, Ilya and Makhachev is the only thing that gets me going. Out of all the other beefs we have in the UFC right now, that's probably the only thing that's like, oh yeah, give me that. Can't wait till we get the promos for that shit. You have me talking in my fucking strip club DJ voice. You feel me? Fiziev dominated Ignacio as well with a 4 to 5 takedowns. Yeah, another great point with Fiziev. So, Fiziev, Benoit Saint Denis, Volk parlay might be hitting this weekend. Feel me? That shit might hit. But that's all I have for MMA updates. That's all I have for MMA. The biggest news being the Patchy mix shit. Like, damn, we lost Patchy, brother. Patchy gone. Let's talk about it. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but I got to Gaethje defeats Pimblett by decision. I was wrong. Boy, the fuck was I wrong. Gaethje defeats Paddy Pimblett by unanimous decision, 48-47, 49-46, 49-46. I agree with the 49-46. That 48-47 is, we're round, bro. 3 and 4. It wasn't 5. It wasn't 1 or 2. I give you that, motherfucker. 1 and 2 one of those might have been a 10-8. You feel me? Because I had it 2017 after 2 rounds. I was like, this motherfucker Patchy's getting nailed into the canvas. I mean, Patty. Sorry, this motherfucker Patty's getting nailed into the canvas. He's getting uppercutted. He's getting slapped up, tripped down, thrown down. Justin Gaethje was. Remember when before the bout on the main card minute, where I was like, I haven't seen the old Gaethje in a while. I seen that motherfucker on Saturday. He was winging his broken hand. He was winging uppercuts. The only thing I didn't see was a lot of leg kicks. Remember when he was throwing those choppy ass leg kicks, like he was trying to fucking take a tree down with his fucking shin? I didn't see a lot of that out of Gaethje, but them hands was going, brother. He was throwing them uppercuts. He was landing the big overhands right on Paddy's head. I'm surprised he didn't destroy both his hands. My lord. Paddy could take some damage. I guess Scousers don't get knocked out. This motherfucker might have been right. Motherfucker might have been right, bro. Like, damn. He was taking a beating. A certain referee in there, and that might have ended early. That's all I got to say. A certain referee in there, and that shit stops at some point. But they let him go. I can't, man. I thought we were getting a Justin TKO in the late rounds. I really did. But that's not what happened. Couple segments I'm going to be debuting next week. And in an attempt to go live more days throughout the week, we will have 3 more live days, people. All right. Matchmaker Monday. We go live Monday before everyone else goes live, which will probably be around 10 a.m., maybe 9 Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to matchmake for every single fight on the card. Okay? We're going to matchmake for these motherfuckers. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to do losers as well, but I will be touching every fight. So maybe the winners get matchups and the losers just get swept off. All right? But Matchmaker Monday. We're going to have TKO Tuesdays. You know what I'm saying? We talk about the best knockouts that happened throughout this past week and the knockouts we expect to come in the next. All right? And my least favorite is going to be Hump Day, where we just try to get over the hump. We might talk about some grapplers, some takedown props. You never know. But Hump Day on Wednesday. Okay? So keep in mind, you might see me live more than once throughout the week. More than twice, more than 3 times, more than 4 times, more than 5 times. We're ramping it up this year in 2026. So don't forget to tell a friend. We might be live every damn day of the week. You never fucking know. You never fucking know. Let's matchmake for these guys right now, though. For Justin Gaethje, I mean. You know, the fucking whatever the fucking sound plays with his Matador bullshit. Ilia Topuria. We need to make an undisputed champion. We have an interim. Again, this was for an interim lightweight title. We need to unify. We need an undisputed champion. Our current champion, Ilia Topuria, must fight the winner of this bout, which was Justin Gaethje. Now, if this bout happens at the White House, I would love that. A little soon, in my opinion, but I would love that. My thoughts is this happens in New York at the end of the year. That's my thoughts. I think Justin Gaethje will next fight Ilia Topuria in MSG at the end of this year. That's the biggest fight currently without super fights. That's why I think we take our time to build that. And that's what happens. Now, White House would be great, obviously. Huge, huge opportunity for anybody. Does Ilia Topuria give a fuck about the White House? Probably not. Justin Gaethje does. There's a chance that Justin Gaethje defends his interim bout. You never know what happens with Ilia. I know the media, the mainstream media, has been painting it that Ilia has been doing very well in the negotiations and that he could be back sooner than we think. I don't listen to any of that shit. Legal proceedings take a while. This is incredibly personal. Yeah, he's angry, all that stuff. It's going to make great for when he comes back, but there's a lot of mental aspects to this game. You got to have your mind clear. And if you're still dealing with even a little bit of shit, you don't want that leaking into your camp. So I think he takes a little bit more time off. I don't see a Topuria White House. It doesn't do much for him. You know what I mean? I could see Gaethje folding and being like, I really want to fight this White House. I'll even take Patty on again. You know what I mean? I could see some shit like that. So I don't know. But what should be next for him should be Ilya Topuria. And for Paddy Pimblett, obviously Dan Hooker, win or lose this weekend. I don't give a fuck if he wins. I don't give a fuck if he loses. If he wins, even better for Paddy. If he loses, even better for Paddy. You know what I mean? But it doesn't matter. I want to see that bout, brother. I want to see. We just seen Paddy go head to head with Justin Gaethje, somebody that's going to throw at him the whole time. But the problem here is that Gaethje has wrestling. Dan Hooker don't. So what does Paddy do to Hooker? But if Hooker can keep it on the feet, what does Hooker do to Paddy? Because we just seen what Gaethje did to Paddy. So that fight intrigues me. Regardless, I mean, if Hooker gets fucking wrapped up like a pretzel this weekend by Benoit Saint-Denis, then I no longer want that fight. But if he goes toe-to-toe with Benoit Saint-Denis and gets caught, then I'm like, all right, give me that fight. I'm down. I'm down with it. Fuck it. Okay? So, yeah, that's what I want. Let's talk about the rest of UFC 324, but let's get to these comments real quick first. Gaethje versus Ilya, Paddy versus Hooker if he wins, or McGregor at welter. Oh, at the White House. McGregor at the White House. Whoa. Wait a second. Bro, that intrigues the fuck out of me. I didn't even think of that. McGregor steps in to face Gaethje at the White House. Chandler would be devastated, but low-key, I'm into that. A free step for Conor. And if Conor somehow wins, then we somehow could possibly get Ilya Conor. I know I'm talking like a fucking 2014 fan right now, but just appease me for a second here. So if Conor steps in and beats Gaethje, we get that. If Gaethje steps in and faces Conor, we could see Conor ended in classic Gaethje fashion, which will be awesome because we love Gaethje. And then Gaethje still fights Ilya. Yo, I'm not mad at that. I mean, every single lightweight on the planet will be pissed, but I won't be. I know that. I'll be intrigued as a motherfucker, man. It'll be classic favoritism, classic all that shit. But truly and honestly, a week later, will we give a fuck? No, because we'll be happy that we have that fight and we get classic theatrics. And Gaethje famously saying last week, I just wish I didn't have a shit personality. I just like to fight. I don't like to, do all that stuff. Guess who's going to bring that personality out of you, buddy? Remember what James Vick did to your ass? And then look what you did to James Vick. Imagine Conor pissing you off. What are you going to do to him after that? Ooh! Yeah, I need that. I need that. Yo, thank you for putting that in my head. What about BSD versus Paddy? BSD and Paddy. I feel like they're the same guy. No? Are they not? Are they not the same dude? Like, I'll fucking swing wild with you, but I want to take you down and beat you up. You know what I mean? I feel like they're the same guy. That's a sloppy banger. And I feel like Charles Oliveira is the refined, sad to say, but the refined version of both of them. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I wouldn't mind seeing that, but I'm way more intrigued with the Hooker Paddy fight just because of the fight week theatrics we'll get, the stories we'll get, the shit talk that we'll get. You know what I mean? Like BSD, Paddy, ain't nobody talking shit. They just fucking I'll call away to get in there with you, mate. Yes, it is very nice to take someone on of your stature. Like, I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I mean? Give me some oomph on the fight week, bro. That's what I want. Give me some oomph. Make me interested. Make me tune in to what was said on social media. I don't want to fucking tune in to be like, oh, yes, he's a very good fighter. I cannot wait to see my skills match up against his. Motherfucker, I don't want the second coming of GSP. I'm good. I'll take the second coming of Conor, though. You know what I mean? I'm good off the second coming of GSP. I'll take the second coming of Jones. People like bad guys. I'll take the second coming of Chael Sonnen. I'll take the second coming of Colby, bro. I don't give a fuck. Just give me something entertaining. I don't want no fucking respectful ass. We're done with that. The ratings prove it. We're done with that. Mr. Nice Guy don't work. You got to be either funny or you got to piss people off and be polarizing. And a Paddy Hooker fight will make people choose sides. So that's why I want that. Conor will never fight, brother. Come on, he's done. Even if he does, what will he look like in the cage? Exactly. We get to see Gaethje just smack him up real quick. I wouldn't mind that. Nah, yeah, he's probably not. I wish he would, but he's probably not. I also believe Conor won't ever fight again in the UFC, but this is the night it's the most probable, right? Because that's the only thing that if you can say anything about Conor, that's the one thing that he's consistently been doing in his later years in the UFC. He's been chasing records. He's been chasing records and accomplishments. And that would be just another accomplishment that may never be done again. So I could see him wanting and trying his hardest to be on that card and maybe coming back for a belt. Maybe. I'm not saying it'll happen, but if of all the most likely scenarios for Conor to come back in 2026, you got to think that's going to be it. That's going to be it. It's if Gaethje needs a dance partner, that's going to be it. It's not going to be Conor taking on fucking Chandler on the undercard of the lightweight title fight at the UFC. It's going to be Conor in the title fight. You know? That's the biggest no-brainer for me. Now, does Conor want to do 55s? I don't know. But yeah, that's true, bro. Some beef. I get it, right? Give me some fucking beef. Nobody wants chicken these days. Give me a juicy burger. What is this chicken? This chicken nugget? Yes? No. I want that fucking. Yeah, let me pause that. Let me pause that. All right, let's talk about the rest of the UFC 324. I mean, Justin Gaethje defeated Paddy Pimblett, unanimous decision across the board. Sean O'Malley defeats Song Yadong via unanimous decision, 29-28 across the board. That's how I had it. That's how I had it. I had O'Malley winning this fight. It was close, but he really started landing his power shots in the third round, and that was the real difference for me. The accumulative damage, the power shots, staying on the outside, keeping Song Yadong away from takedowns later on in the fight. It was a Sean O'Malley fight. Haters are going to say he lost. If we're going to keep it $150, Sean O'Malley handily won that fight. And I could have went 30-27. Yeah, he did get taken down at the end of round one. Yeah, but the most effective striking was Sean O'Malley. And I believe damage is the first criteria. Yeah. Uh-huh. So, yeah, I think Sean O'Malley won every round. In my opinion, 29-28 seems like the best, so we don't cause riots, and I was happy with it. Waldo Cortez Acosta defeats Derek Lewis via TKO punches. Round 2, 3 minutes and 14 seconds. I saw this best on social media that Derek Lewis is now in his Celtics Shaq era, his son's Shaq era, and that is probably correct after what we've seen. I mean, Derek was just trying to land power shots. He was off balance. He was too slow. Waldo just moved slightly out of the way and was able to just evade the big man, push him over, land some power shots while he was on all hands and knees on all fours. It was tough to watch your boy Derek Lewis take an L like that. Waldo looked fast, looked strong, looked like the next iteration of heavyweights, of standard heavyweights. I feel like if you're not at least a Waldo Cortez Acosta, you're going to have a tough time at heavyweight. You got to be nimble. You got to be fast. You got to have good striking. You got to have good cardio to last in the top of heavyweight now. I mean, just take a quick look at the top of heavyweight right now and tell me I'm wrong. Tom Aspinall, Ciryl Gane, Sergey Pavlovich, Curtis Blades, Waldo Cortez Acosta, Jalton Almeida. None of these motherfuckers are slow. The only one, I'll give you Alexander Volkov, but he has the length to make up for the speed. Okay, all these other guys, quick. Curtis Blades will be in on your hips before you could think. All right, Sergey Pavlovich, he'll put a fucking fist on your temple, have you waking up 2 weeks later in a hospital in fucking Beijing. Okay, these motherfuckers are fast. They're not your average heavyweight. So it's going to be tough times for anybody not thinking that they could be quick, nimble, and fast at heavyweight. You can't just have power anymore. The days of a Derek Lewis, the days of a no, I'm not going to say it because he's fighting this weekend. But the days of a slow heavyweight are over. You have to be fast. You have to have cardio. And from what I've seen, he might be going that direction. So maybe let me hold my judgment. Natalia Silva defeats Rose Namajunas via unanimous decision, 29-28 across the board. That is not how I saw this fight. The wrong fighter won this fight, in my opinion. Rose Namajunas should have been up 2-0 after the first 2 rounds. Natalia Silva couldn't get anything going against Rose. Rose was landing the most powerful shots. Rose was shucking her takedowns. Rose was winning the fight. And just because Rose got taken down and controlled in round 3, y'all thought it was enough to give Natalia Silva the bout? This stunk of Valentina Grasso too. This stunk of that. Disgusting. This stunk of biased judging. I don't know anybody that gave Natalia Silva one of the first 2 rounds. But apparently the judges did. And she won the bout. I got a feel for Rose. She ended up having to get some surgery after this bout because of the things that happened to her eye induced by her opponent. Double whammy. You got to take an L that nobody thinks you took. And now you got to have surgery. And you're back down the ladder. And. Just a tough L. I got a feel for Thug Rose, man. We're thugging over here for Rose, though, all day. We love you, Rose. We appreciate you. Hopefully you come back better from this and stronger from this. It is what it is. That's the game we're playing, I guess. Gene Silva defeats Arnold Allen via unanimous decision, 30-27, 29-28, 29-28. This motherfucker was surfing. Motherfucker was surfing on the back of his opponent. I believe that was the 3rd round. He lost round 1. Arnold Allen was doing great work, being more active. But round 2 and 3, Gene Silva, he found his spot, started to land some shots, started to confuse Arnold Allen. Stopped a lot of his takedowns up against the fence, brought it to the center, surfed his back. I mean, Gene Silva style points all day. Umar Nurmagomedov defeats Davison Figueiredo via unanimous decision, 30-27 across the board. Father's plan. Did we ever doubt Father's plan? I don't think so. I don't even need to talk about that fight. Ateba Gaethje defeats Andre Puliev via unanimous decision, 30-27, 29-28, 29-28. Gaethje couldn't land the powerful shot. Andre Puliev, very durable, stayed away from his very dangerous opponent in round 1. Tried to mix in some wrestling to keep him off of him. Maybe even won that round 3, but Gaethje comes off with the win. Nikita Krylov defeats Modestas Bukauskas via KO punch, round 3, 4 minutes and 57 seconds. Krylov was winning every second of this fight, in my opinion. He won round 1. He won round 2. He was winning round 3. Modestas Bukauskas makes a critical mistake, comes in with his hands down. Nikita Krylov lands the blow that puts him down with just 3 seconds left on the clock. What a finish. Krylov gets back in the good graces at light heavyweight. He's been taking some L's to some of the top guys there, but this will get him right back in the picture. So shout out to him on a big win. He's been around a very long time. Alex Perez defeats Charles Johnson via TKO punches, round 1, 3 minutes, 16 seconds. A little asterisk on this bout because Alex Perez did miss weight, but he ends up getting the TKO finish over Charles Johnson. Just overwhelmed him early. Charles Johnson never really recovered. Tried to circle, grapple, all the things, but he was just too wobbly, too far gone. Alex Perez just had to land a couple more clean shots, and that's what he did. He ended up taking the bout. Shout out to him on a big win. He needed that, especially with missing the weight. Not good. Only his 2nd win in like his last 6 fights or something like that, but yeah, we'll see what his future holds. I mean, you got the win, but that weight miss, you know, the brass do not like that shit. So we'll see what happens and what matchups he attains next. And on the prelims, Josh Hoke defeats Denzel Freeman via TKO, punches round 1, 4 minutes and 59 seconds. He brought that character out. And Ty Miller defeats Adam Fuggett via TKO, punches round 1, 4 minutes and 59 seconds as well. Shout out to the young guy coming in. Looked to be the better striker, and he was handily. Now, change to this card is that instead of $50,000 bonuses, the fighters that were awarded performance of the night bonuses each got $100,000, and that will continue on through every single card throughout the rest of this year in the Paramount Plus era. So shout out to the UFC for doing that. In addition to every performance of the night getting $100,000, any other fighter that didn't get a bonus but got a finish on this card would receive a $25,000 additional bonus to their purse. The exception obviously was Alex Perez, because if you do miss weight, you are ineligible for performance bonuses. So yes. So that means that our fight of the night went to Justin Gaethje and Paddy Pimblett, each receiving $100,000. And our performance of the night bonuses went to Josh Hoke and Ty Miller on the early prelims, each banking $100,000. That means that Nikita Krylov gets $25,000 and Waldo Cortez Acosta gets $25,000 for their finishes of their respective opponents. So shout out to everybody that got money on this card. The UFC is shelling out the money for finishes now. Hopefully we see more finishes throughout the year. Hopefully this starts a nice trend. But that was my coverage of UFC 324. Okay. Let's see what we got here. I'm so sick of Clown Malley barely winning and getting a pass. I mean, I thought he handily won that fight. I wasn't worried that he'd lose the bout, especially with his track record of winning bouts that he should have lost. So, I mean, it goes back to the Andre Sukumtat fight. Definitely should have lost that bout, but Sukumtat just had terrible fight IQ and went down into his guard, and therefore Sean O'Malley ends the bout with a broken foot and couldn't get up off the canvas. And in the Peter Yan fight, should have lost that decision, but ends up winning the bout. So if this went to the judges' scorecards, I was pretty positive that Sean O'Malley was going to win this bout. Lewis is wild. He looked better than ever shape and did worse than I've ever seen him in a while. Yeah, Octopus, that was crazy to see, because I was like, damn, did I see an ab or two? I was like, was that an ab, Black Beast? And then, yeah, he looked terrible against I know Black, Papi. Papi, I know Black, I Dominican, I know Black, Papi. You know? But yeah, shout out to my boy, the Black Beast. Octopus No Friends also says she has had a lot of bad luck and good luck in her wild career. Who was that in reference to? Can't remember. In her wild career. Wild career. If you said wild, who would I be thinking of? Wild career. Who would have a wild career? I'm like drawing a blank. Oh, Rose Namajunas. That's who we're talking about. Okay. The MMA gods both smile upon her and smite her. I know, Rose. I mean, she looked great. She looked fantastic. I was like, wow. Rose just about to blank this girl, and then she gets taken down in round 3. I'm like, no worries. She still won the first 2 rounds. And I'm like, what? She lost the bout? It was crazy, bro. I had Rose 29-28, but I think she only outstruck Natalia by like 2 strikes. Her biggest problem since that Esparza fight has been volume, way too conservative. Yeah, she has been, but even so, even with her being conservative with her output, her defense was on point. I didn't see Natalia landing a lot of shots, and if she was landing shots, it was little pitter-patter shots or little leg kicks or something like that. I mean, I don't know, man. I just did not see Natalia. I feel like Natalia said was in for a rude awakening in her next bout, whoever she takes on. Because if Rose, I mean, yeah, she did come on that 3rd round, but if Rose could do that to you for 2 rounds, a weight class up, I mean, what do you think Val's going to do to your ass? That's all I got to say. Cosmo says, Gauthier ruined a lot of parlays by not knocking Pulev out. Yeah, that's why I didn't want to take that. I knew it. It was like -900 for his KO or some shit, or like -500. And I was like, that seems a little expensive, no? Like, just a little bit. This guy's relatively unknown. He's got like 3 fights in the UFC. I was like, what the fuck are we doing? Unless Dana decides they aren't fighting hard enough, then they'll drop the bonus money back down. I hope not. I really hope they don't do that. No, don't drop that. Please, no. The fighters will be outraged. That would be terrible. Corey Frutain says, did you see that text chain between Mick Maynard and Song's manager? Proof these managers work for TKO more than their clients. I can honestly see why people keep the people they came up with rather than go to big management and stuff like that. Because you really never know, especially with somebody with that many clients, you really never know if your true best interests are in mind. And that's always been my issue with fighters all going to the same manager. No knock on those big managers. They're obviously getting their fighters the best possible opportunities, right? But do they always have their fighters' best interests in mind? Especially when they have two of their clients fight each other. Like, how can you honestly say that I have both your best interests in mind? You really can't. So that's my only issue with the conglomerate manager, the conglomerate, promoter, if you will. I just can't trust it. Me personally. I would keep my day ones if it were me. But it is what it is. Bing ripping. And then easiest 29-28 scorecard for O'Malley. Song blew it in that third round, not going for takedowns. Yeah, he just got pieced up, and his face was all bloodied. It was bad. It was bad, Cosmo. I met Sukumtat's cousin spelling at the dispensary I worked at. No way. Did they have the, probably because they had the last name. You're like, are you related to Andre? They were like, oh my God, yeah. How do you know him? Well, I saw him get his ass kicked by O'Malley like 6 years ago or whatever. But yo, that's dope though. At the dispo. Nice. He said my cousin fought in the UFC. When I asked, he was literally ashamed to tell me who it was. I mean, it is what it is, especially when that was probably one of their last bouts and they haven't done too great elsewhere. Like, I don't mean to do it, but I'm curious now. Where's Andre Sukumtat been? He's 37 now. Oof. All right. Not a great record in the UFC. Only had 2 wins over Luke Sanders and Jonathan Martinez. Jonathan Martinez is a solid win, though. But lost to Albert Morales, Alejandro Perez, Sean O'Malley, Montel Jackson, Sumaderji. Got a win in XFC 43 against Guillermo Faria, but lost his next 2 bouts and probably the last 2 bouts of his career to Jose Alberto Quinones by unanimous decision at XFC 44 and Diego Silva by unanimous decision at CES MMA 66. Sukumtat versus Silva. So hadn't had the best career, but shout out to him. Still got love for Sukumtat. Feel me? I was like, well, I mean, he could have won technically. Imagine if he did. Imagine he probably thinks about that at this point. Like, if I just fucking made him stand, bro, I would have got a TKO win over O'Malley. I would have got matched up different in my next fight. Blah, blah, blah. You never know. You never know, man. You're right, Coy. It was weak negotiations. It is what it is, man. It is what it is. You got to have someone go to fight for you, bro. You got to have someone fight for you. You can't be having somebody who's just like, oh, we'll take this or this because this is what's standard at this point in this guy's. No, motherfucker. I want more than that. I don't give a fuck what's standard for me. Give me some fucking NBA contract. Like, remember when fucking, who was it? Wasn't like Jeff T got some like crazy. No. Who the fuck was it? It was Mike Connolly. Remember when Mike Connolly had the biggest contract in the NBA? And we were like, why the fuck does Mike Connolly have the biggest contract in basketball right now? When he has literally never, and I'm confident in saying this, never in his fucking career been a top 10 player in the NBA. But he got but he got the biggest contract. The fuck? You know what I mean? So I don't know. I guess it's one of those situations where, you just had someone fight like a motherfucker for him, and the team that he was playing for was in the right situation that they were willing to pay. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Some of these contracts be baffling me. I'm just like, what? All right. Quickly, because obviously the guy I wanted to do it with lost and fell off the card. No fighter spotlight this week. It was hopefully going to be Cam Smotherman. We got cooked. Boy, did we get cooked, huh? We got fucking sous vide'd in our own juices. And I wasn't going to do it on a Gaethje decision. I wasn't going to do it on Alex Perez missing weight. Natalia Silva in a decision she probably shouldn't have won. Waldo Cortez Acosta is near the top. Josh Hokett. Maybe it should have been Josh Hokett. Low-key probably should, unless I did him already. I low-key think I did his already. But yeah, no fighter spotlight this week, unfortunately. And I feel bad because every week I'm like, we're going to do it next week. And then shit falls through yet again. We can't do it next week. So unfortunately, no. But let's get into some boxing. We missed out on the boxing this week. We missed out. But it was a solid bout, man. It was headlined for an IBF lightweight title between Raymond Muratalla and Andy Cruz. And y'all didn't believe, but I did. I told y'all to go with my boy Ray Muratalla. And Ray Muratalla defeats Andy Cruz via majority decision. 114-114, 118-110, 116-112. My man controlled the action, landed the better shots, had the center, put his opponent in the corner multiple times. These boys did go at it. But it proved by the end that Raymond Muratalla was the better boxer of the two. So he walks out with the IBF lightweight title around his waist. Shout out to him. Elsewhere on the card, light heavyweight. Khalil Ko defeats Jesse Hart via majority decision, 94-94, 95-93, 96-92. At super welterweight, Israel Madrimov defeats Luis David Salazar via unanimous decision, 99-91, 99-91, 99-91. At welterweight, Omari Jones defeats Jerome Baxter via unanimous decision, 60-53 across the board. And last but not least, at super featherweight, Zakeem Moses defeats Leandro Damian Medina via unanimous decision, 60-53 across the board. If you guys got to catch the boxing over the weekend, I'm happy you did. Unfortunately, we did have some cancellations, so we didn't get a doubleheader like we were promised. Okay. Moses Itauma versus Jermaine Franklin Jr. had been rescheduled. It was supposed to take part on the very same day as the Raymond Muratalla versus Andy Cruz fight, but it had fallen through. It is now rescheduled for March 28th in Manchester, England on DAZN. Moses Itauma versus Jermaine Franklin Jr. will be headlining the bout at heavyweight for 10 rounds. On the undercard, we have Willie Hutchinson taking on Ezra Taylor, 10 rounds at light heavyweight, and Liam Davies taking on Zach Miller, 10 rounds at featherweight. Okay? So unfortunately for those who are looking for this bout over the weekend, it was rescheduled. All right? And speaking of rescheduling, we might as well talk about the rest of the boxing slate. All right? We may as well talk about the rest of this motherfucker, man. All right? I got to remind myself to make a lower for MMA schedule. Hold on. If I don't write it down, it ain't happening. Lots of bouts have been added, guys. Keep up, shall we? Keep the fuck up. Don't forget, January 31st. That's in 2 days. That's this Saturday. New York, DAZN, our boy, Teofimo Lopez Jr. takes on Shakur Stevenson. 12 rounds for Lopez's WBO junior welterweight title. Also, the very same day, we have 3 other events, people. In San Juan, Puerto Rico, we have Xander Zayas taking on Abass Baraou. 12 rounds for Zayas' WBO junior middleweight title and Baraou's WBA junior middleweight title. In Newcastle, England, on the zone, we have a title fight between Bakhram Murtazaliev and Josh Kelly. 12 rounds for Murtazaliev's IBF junior middleweight title. And last but not least, in Kolding, Denmark, on the zone, we have a bout between Jacob Bank and William Scull. 10 rounds at super middleweight. Okay? Then we get a week break until we have February 7th in Liverpool, England, on the zone. We have a title fight between Nick Ball and Brandon Figueroa. This is 12 rounds for Ball's WBA featherweight title. Also on the card, Andrew Kane taking on Alejandro Yair Gonzalez. 12 rounds at bantamweight. Then we take a break off, thank goodness, because your boy needs to enjoy Valentine's Day. February 21st, Las Vegas, on the zone. We have a title fight between Mario Barrios and Ryan Garcia. 12 rounds for Barrios' WBC welterweight title. We also have a title fight between Gary Antoine Russell and Andrew Hirakoa. Whatever, bro. 12 rounds for Russell's WBA junior welterweight title. And don't forget, where my flag at? Where my motherfucking flag at? It's not here right now, but also, Richardson Hitchens, my Haitian brother, he takes on Oscar Duarte. 12 rounds for Hitchens' IBF junior welterweight title. Junior welterweight title. It sounds familiar, right? Because that's what Shakur Stevenson and Teofimo Lopez are fighting for. Could Richardson Hitchens be setting himself up for a junior welterweight title bout with one of them? Who knows? But that'll be a 12-rounder. And Frank Martin also on the card taking on Nahir Albright, 10 rounds of junior welterweight. Also, February 21st in Nottingham, England. On the zone, we have Josh Warrington and Lee Wood, 12 rounds of junior lightweight. Ishmael Davis fighting on the card against Bilal Fawaz. This is for Davis's British junior middleweight title. And also a title fight between Sandy Ryan and Carla Ramos Zamora. 10 rounds for the vacant WBC women's junior welterweight title. The very next day, February 22nd, in Detroit, on the zone, the GWOAT returns in a title fight against Franchon Cruz de Zion. Clarissa Shields takes her on 10 rounds for Shields' undisputed heavyweight championship, her undisputed women's heavyweight championship. Okay. February 28th, we have a doubleheader. Glendale, Arizona, on the zone. We have a title fight between Emmanuel Navarrete and Eduardo Nunez. 12 rounds for Navarrete's WBO junior lightweight title and Nunez's IBF junior lightweight title. Also on the card, Tamir Smalls taking on Abel Ramos, 10 rounds at welterweight, and Emiliano Vargas taking on Agustin as whatever, bro. 10 rounds at junior welterweight. All we care about is Emiliano. His brothers and should have been getting in fights in Vegas and shit on social media. You already know. In Verona, New York, on Amazon Prime Video, we have Elijah Pierce taking on Lorenzo Para. 10 rounds at featherweight. You can bet your ass we'll be tuning into that. You can bet your ass we'll be watching that live. You can bet your ass you can catch it right here, February 28th on One More Round Fights. We will be doing a combat companion for that. Anybody else's is fake. March 14th in Dublin, Ireland, on the zone, we have a fight between James Dickens, not the author, and Anthony Kakachi, 12 rounds at junior lightweight. We also have Pierce O'Leary and Mark Chamberlain fighting 12 rounds at junior welterweight on the undercard. March 15th in Yokohama, Japan, we have a title fight between Knockout CP Freshmart and Shokiuchi Iwata. 12 rounds for Freshmart's WBC junior flyweight title. We also have a title fight between Anthony Olascuaga and Juki Ilimora for Ascuaga's WBO flyweight title. March 28th in Manchester, England, on the zone. We spoke about it earlier. Moses Itauma, Jermaine Franklin Jr., 10 rounds of heavyweight. We also have Willie Hutchinson and Ezra Taylor, 10 rounds of light heavyweight, and Liam Davies versus Zach Miller, 10 rounds at featherweight. April 11th on Netflix. Location to be announced. Tyson Fury returns. He faces Arslanbek Makhmudov. 12 rounds at heavyweight. There hasn't been a title attached to this just yet, but this will be on Netflix. I repeat, on Netflix, April 11th. Tyson Fury will be taking on Arslanbek Makhmudov at heavyweight. May 2nd in Las Vegas on DAZN. The fight we've been setting up since November. Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez taking on David Benavidez. 12 rounds for Ramirez's WBO and WBA cruiserweight titles. And that does it for me and the boxing slate. Memphis Grizzlies was not the smartest run franchise in the world. Traded Paul Gasol for a bag of balls, right? And Paul Gasol goes on to fucking win, I think, at least one championship. He might have played in multiple, but he definitely won at least one with Kobe. So yeah, Tank Davis can't stop fucking up John Jones of boxing without the legacy. I agree with that, Cosmo. What did he do this time? Another fucking hit and run or some shit? Let's go, Teo. No, I'm not. My bad. My bad, Javante. You know I fuck with you. He's just the man needs to eliminate distractions. I feel like is what Tank needs to do, man. Because I feel like every time we just finally got out the woods with him and he's just chilling, we're like, "Yo, man, a title fight's coming." Some bullshit comes right back, and I think the bullshit comes back because all those people come back. Because when you're a fighter, it gets real crowded around fight time and real not crowded when you're not fighting. So I imagine that has a lot to do with the troubles that he deals with. So maybe fighting wasn't the best for him. Maybe him stopping fighting was his attempt to reduce all the bullshit coming his way. I don't know, but I feel for Tank, man. Being that famous and being unable to live your life and control your demons is a fucking nightmare. Is honestly a fucking nightmare. Let's go, Teo. You already know, Cosmo. We rocking with Teo. The bets may not all be on Teo, but we rocking with him. I mean, the distance might be my bet on that one. Big hints that Van versus Tyra on this UFC 326, March 7th. See, layups. They giving my man layups. It is what it is, man. It should be cop. They giving my man layups. Van wins that fight against Tyra. Easy, in my opinion. Easy. Just more active, beats him up, probably TKOs him against the fence. Remember I said that. Okay? Van wins that easy. Cardio too much for Tyra. It's Charles Dickens, not James. Oh, yeah, that's yeah, what I say? Not the author. Yeah, that's funny, Cosmo. Good catch. Oh, yeah, let's get into it. You talked about boxing. Let's talk about the picks before we end this. I don't think I'm going to do social media shit today. We're 90 minutes in already. I think we're just going to rock out with my picks for the rest of the week, and then we're going to hop up out of this stream and get on up out of here. And then I could post the green that we got this week and fix my graphics and all that early shit. But anyways, picks on UFC 325. I only got a few names for y'all. Usually I have the whole fucking, the sheet and shit. Without CP units, I'm going to have to rename that shit. Actually, let me, you know what? Let me look into fixing the Xbox today. Let me write that down so I make sure it gets done. These are my picks for UFC 325. Volk, baby. We seen it once. I know he got hurt in the first one. He recovered, didn't he? He still got that belt, didn't he? You know what I mean? He knows the formula to beat this guy. He's just got to replicate that and be ready for any incoming changes that Diego Lopez may have applied, which is not many. He's just the type of fighter that goes out there, tries to put it on you with his pace and get in your face, and then maybe he'll land a crazy strike. So I think Volk walks away with this one again by decision again. I mean, last time I said this, we got the complete opposite, and fucking Peter Yan is now the bantamweight champion. But yeah, I like Volk's chances. I like him to end the year the champion. I like him to, if he doesn't retire, I like him to end the year the champion. But Lerone Murphy's still in them shadows, man. Lerone Murphy is a terrible style matchup for Volk. That's all I have to say. Tai Tuivasa. I'm rocking with Ty. I've seen his health this week. I've seen what he's looked like. I'm going to rock with him, bro. Ty, me and the boys, he's one of those names where my casual-ass friends hit me up. Like, yo, how's Ty looking? Is Ty about to win this weekend? This is one of them weekends where I'm going to text back, put it on Ty, baby. Put it on Ty, baby. Tai Tuivasa, I like it. I like Tai Tuivasa. I like your matchup. Okay, I don't think this is too scary of a matchup for Tai Tuivasa. He's taking on Tyson Teixeira, who just got sent to hell um, by Derek Lewis. I know it's Derek Lewis, and very quickly, Tyson Teixeira does have a lot of early KO wins in his career. But guess what? Do you remember who my boy Tai Tuivasa is? I know he has 5 straight L's, 2 of them in the first round. I know that, but do you remember he took out Derek Lewis? All right, so he got hands too. He took out Augusto Sakai, who I think Taliesin Teixeira is a shittier version of. No offense to Taliesin. He took out big guys like Greg Hardy. Size don't matter. He took out a Stephen Struve. Size don't matter. To my boy, you could be 6'7". Tai Tuivasa about to beat you the fuck up. You think he wants to get 6 L's in a row, my dog? Nah, Tai pulling out a dub this weekend, man. I'm rocking with Tai. I'm rocking with Tai. It is what it is. I may be picking with my heart. I'm rocking with Tai, bro. I'm rocking with Tai. Killian Salkilled. We cannot deny what this young man has been doing. The souls this young man has been taking in the UFC. I mean, my Lord. You did not have to do that to our boy fake Kelvin Gastelum. You didn't have to do that. Okay, he turned into a statue on live television. That was cold as fuck. All right, so Killian Salkilled. I don't know if he's going to get another big KO win. I will be on KO watch for Killian Salkilled for sure. Okay, because his opponent, Malarkey, I've seen that man take more than a few punches to the face. So yeah, Killian Salkilled KO might be a prop that your boy's looking at real juicy like. You feel me? And last but not least, Jacob Malkoun, bro. Torres Finney. The guy that just wrestles and holds you down. Jacob Malkoun's cardio is going to run this man the fuck over. Jacob Malkoun is going to wrestle him and beat him up with punches and jump on his back. Jacob Malkoun for the dub, broski. At middleweight, I like Jacob Malkoun, man. He got a fucking gasser. He got a gas tank, and he's never lost 2 in a row. I know he won his last bout against Andre Petrosky with a nice TKO soccer kick to the body in Atlantic City, New Jersey. I'm rocking with my boy Jacob Malkoun, bro. Do what you want. I'm feeling my Aussie brothers. I'm feeling them. Ty, Jacob, Killian, my dogs. Let's get it. Volky, let's get it. Let's get it, boys. Let's get that W-Dub-Dubberson. I'll have a parlay for y'all by the end of the week. Shit, I might have a parlay for y'all by Saturday morning, by Friday night. By Friday, it's Friday night. All right. That's right, Gav, Teofimo Lopez. I know people saying he's going to lose, but I have a feeling he will get the chipper. I'm telling you. That's why I got fight to go the distance. I think it'll be a close one. Nice little steal. You know what I mean? Yo, mate, what's happening? What up, Atel? How you feeling, brother? You enjoying the week? Sorry I'm live on a fucking Thursday instead of a Sunday or Monday. You know, I was in Florida all week. Still not feeling great because I went from somewhere so warm to so cold. So I got a stuffy nose and all that shit. Rob Thomas in this piece. Hey, dirt holes. What up, Rob? How you feeling? Richland says, Gav finally back live. What up, though? What up, Richland? Yeah, man. I had to take a little hiatus. I brought all my equipment, but I was just so busy while I was in Florida. I couldn't find time to go live. And even when I did find time to go live, I was so fucking tired. I was just like, bro, I'm not doing all this shit. So I was like, let me go live first chance I get that I don't feel like shit when I get home. Tuesday was a rough go. That's when I got back. Yesterday was a recuperation day. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. Thursday. Let's get it. So yeah, we're live. We went over everything this past week. We just gave out the picks. I got Volk, Tui, Salkilled, and Malkoun right now for my official guys that I'm rocking with for UFC 325. But yeah, what you don't know is I got picks for Lopez Jr. Stevenson. And I'm only doing the main event. But obviously, I said it already. Fight to go the distance, bro. Fight to go the distance. We got 2 tacticians who haven't gotten finishes in a little bit. This will be a closely contested boxing match. And And it could come down to the late rounds. It really can come down to 11 and 12 in this bout. And I do have confidence in my boy Teofimo Lopez to get the decision win. So I will be taking both guys by decision. Okay. All right, fuck it. I'll give you guys all the picks. But yeah, I think Teo's going to look really good in this bout. I think he's doing a little bit of that Ryan Garcia acting crazy shit just to throw people off. You know what I mean? But Teofimo has always been a generational talent for boxing. So and so is Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson is one of the very best boxers and has been sharpening his steel and his iron and all that other fucking colloquial term shit with Terrence Crawford for the majority of his career. That's who he's been training with. So yeah, he's really fucking good as well. So that's why I like this fight to go the distance. I don't think either guy gets taken out, but I think we get a fight of the year contender for sure. For sure. Davis taking on Ortiz. And I got like a Davis decision. Now, Jermaine Ortiz has losses to both Teofimo Lopez and Vasily Lomachenko. So he loses to really good guys, which I think Davis is. I think Davis is one of our better talent in boxing. So I'm taking Davis by decision. Okay. Carrington. I like a Carrington decision. Okay. His opponent has lost decisions to both Stephen Fulton and Luis Neri. And the bout that I can't remember, he was TKO'd in. Okay. I like a Carrington decision. Carrington doesn't have a lot of finishes. I believe it's split down the middle between knockouts and decisions, possibly just a little bit more decisions. So I'm rocking with a Carrington decision. But these last two are KOs. Carlos Adames taking on some Wisconsin fucking cheesehead. All right. He's sending this cheesehead to hell, people. Get your fucking pot ready for some fondue. We're melting that cheese, boy. All right. Carlos Adames KO is coming. Get ready. And then last but not least, Jarrell Miller KO, bro. It could be a fight end KO. I just think Jarrell Miller is going to be the better of the two fighters. But fight end KO might not be a bad prop for this one. They both have a lot of power, and a majority of both of their bouts have ended in KO. But I like Miller. I always rock with Miller, so Miller KO for me. And those are my picks on Teofimo Lopez versus Shakur Stevenson. Shakur unanimous decision. Victory from Ato, yeah, or majority decision. Decision is for sure, though. That's why I hope they can give us at least like a minus 180 on decision. Like I wouldn't be mad with that. A minus 180 decision, but I know it's gonna be like minus 400 if I had to go to distance. I already know it. I already fucking know it. I just got home from Vegas to Detroit last night. Super jet lagged, and time change is killing me. Feels like 10 a.m. and it's 1 p.m. Yeah, it's the worst feeling. That's why I like staying East Coast, man. That's why I like it. Nobody tells you about that going west to east. West to east is a motherfucker, bro. I could go east to west all day. No fucking problem. West to east, my lord. My lord. It is a bitch. It is a bitch. Infrared says at Richland, you got to blaze your way through that, G. My problem is when I blaze my way through it, I got to like face a joint or face a blunt, and then I fall asleep for 2 hours. And yeah, and then I look at my phone later, and Dakota's asked me what I want for lunch 6 times. And she's like, why aren't you answering? And then I wake up, slobber all over my fucking arm, aioli hair all over my chest because he cuddled up to me the whole time. It's a motherfucker, man. It's a motherfucker. What else we got? We got a couple more boxing cards. Ooh, Xander Zayas and Abass Baraou. We got Zayas' decision, brother. We got Zayas' decision. He hasn't been KOing people recently. And yeah, like, you know, maybe that's more reason for him to get a KO here. Cool. But his opponent's really solid and a really good boxer. Okay. And I expect him to keep himself safe enough to not get KO'd in this fight. So I think this will be a unanimous Zayas decision, a UD for Zayas. All right. I mean, yeah, I'm not even going to dive deeper into that. We got 2 more boxing bouts to talk about. We have Bakhram Murtazaliev taking on Josh Kelly. Okay. Murtazaliev KO. That's what I have to rock with here. Two reasons. A lot of Murtazaliev's wins are by KO. I believe 18 of them are. All right. It's what he loves to do. Okay. He loves to separate you from your senses. And if not, make the referee stop the bout. That's what Murtazaliev does. All right. Now, Josh Kelly, oh, yeah, he's got a solid record, blah, 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 blah. Guess what his lone loss was by? That's right. KO. So we're rocking with the Murtazaliev KO. Obviously, he's a single. I'm not parlaying any cards together. Any parlays that will be happening will be on the Teofimo, Lopez, and Shakur Stevenson card. Okay? All these others, they will be singles. They will absolutely be singles. Okay? Now, our last boxing bout. Jacob Bank and William Scull. You might remember William Scull took on Canelo Alvarez. You know, Jacob Bank, you may not know who the fuck that is, but I'm rocking with a Scull decision. I would favor a fight end decision to play it safe. Okay, both guys like to go the distance, and both of them are actually boxers, not sluggers or fighters or power punchers or whatever other fucking terms we have for the various styles of boxers. They're just traditional boxers. I like William Scull. I like the fight to end decision just to play it safe, but I like William Scull. Honestly, this is the bout that's going to fall the farthest under the radar. I may not even cover it on Sunday, but yeah, it is what it is. And last but not least, before I get out of here, first let's talk about this dubber that we got. I know I gave it out as a plus 423 because, that's what it was supposed to be if the bout took place. But then Alexander Hernandez falls through because of weird betting lines. Cameron Smotherman falls to his face off the scale. So we didn't get it that 423. It ended up dropping down to a plus 114, which ended up being a Josh Hokett and a Sean O'Malley single. And yes, bitch, it cashed. It fucking cashed at plus 114. Josh Hokett, Sean O'Malley, Alexander Hernandez voided, Cameron Smotherman voided. We gave out at least one winning parlay this week. You're welcome. You're welcome. I know the regular didn't cash. Patty, you fucked us good, bud. It is what it is. It is what it is. That's the game we're playing. I'll be coming out with a UFC and superheroes segment coming soon where we compare some of our favorite UFC fighters to some of our favorite superheroes. Yes, I will break it in to both a DC side and the Marvel side. And no, I will not be repeating any fighters. So if you see them as a DC fighter, you will not see them as a Marvel fighter. All right? So that should be coming out soon. Hopefully any of our fellow, nerds can enjoy that one. It's just be something short and sweet. But yeah, I'll be coming out with that soon. Right about to smoke a joint and go shovel this snow that's outside. Yeah, it's a tough one. Get that back ready. Do a little stretches, man. That back gonna get tight after this one. It was the heaviest of the year for me, for sure. And Wheels Up says, I'm not sure if you've seen it, but that was honestly one of the most respectful and probably highest level of handshakes I've seen at a press conference. I was truly impressed with how the Australian crowd and the competitors treated each other. It was very refreshing for a sport that can often become unnecessarily ugly. I agree with that, Wheels Up. I like the camaraderie that we've seen between both sides of the press conference. Not a lot of bad blood going between Dan Hooker, BSD, Volkanovski, Lopez, even though they've shared the octagon together before. So yeah, it was refreshing to see. But sometimes we get that a little bit too much, and that's when I'm like, all right, let's get some bad blood, brother. What are we doing here? Why are we sucking each other's toes on stage? Let's fucking do this. let's fucking get nasty. Pause. Feel me? Let's punch somebody in the fucking nose. All right, but that does it for me. I'm getting out of here. Hope you guys enjoy this short midweek show I pulled out of my ass. We're trying to get to 750, so please scan the QR code right there. It'll subscribe you to this channel on YouTube. Don't forget to follow on Twitch. Don't forget to follow on Kick. Don't forget to follow on Instagram, TikTok, X. That's where we put out all the parlays and all that other shit. So don't forget to follow us there. Obviously, you can see that there. I'm probably going to have to add a Kick fucking icon soon. The problem is that the graphics are all gone because my hard drive is broken. It is what it is. We'll figure it out one day. Don't forget to also scan the QR code and follow Main Card Minute. That's where you'll see us live on Saturday for UFC 325. So don't forget to scan that QR code right there and subscribe to that channel as well. Again, if you don't already know, Main Card Minute on your left, 1 more round fights on your right. Thank you guys for everybody that pulled up. Yo, sponsors, hit me up, you fucking bitches. Hit me up. I want free shit. Hit me up. It's going to be too late because I'm going to see your dumbass fucking Instagram message in 3 months or some shit. And you'll be like, hey, dude. I'm going to say, fuck no. I literally have a segment on the show for you to do this and your dumbass is late. So, yeah. Sponsors, hit me up. This will be your last fucking year. I promise you, this is your last fucking year, sponsors. Hit me up. Stop being a bitch and come on. If you got wins, send them in to 1moreroundfights@gmail.com. Appreciate all my day ones. Appreciate you, Wheels Up, Infrared, Richland, Ado, Rob Thomas, Nikki V89, Cosmo Kramer, Main Card Minute, Octopus with No Friends, John Ray, Coy Fertain. Who else? Who else we got in here? Tanner, Goal Unclear on Kick. Appreciate you pulling through. Harry Scarecrow. Appreciate you on Kick. Who else? You know the day ones. Fucking Kimbong Eel. Fucking everybody. Appreciate you guys always showing love to the channel. Don't forget, shoot us some love. I'll see you guys later in the week. I might be live tomorrow. I might not. If not, you'll definitely see me live Saturday. Appreciate you all. Enjoy the rest of your week. Get some good food in you. Kiss your loved ones. Enjoy some fights. Watch some boxing and smoke weed every day. Peace. I live life how I wanna. Smoke lots of marijuana. I live my life in these streets. We can smoke out the window. I'm on a trail. Maybe I'm a gunner, cause I live in yonder. Hot box like a sauna in a foreign or Americana. Let me grind my green, roll up, put inside my weed. Toast one to the sky for the highest, then go puffin' like my trees, floating on the nimbus cloud. Who's blessing? Yeah, I'm hitting loud. Blowing smoke like guns blazing, blowing holes in the span of 1 million. I'm saying I live life how I wanna. Smoke lots of marijuana. I live my life in these streets. We can smoke out the window. I'm on a trail. Maybe I'm a gunner, cause I live in yonder. Hot box like a sauna in a foreign or Americana. My eyes up, my vibes up, yeah. My fire smoker goes to sign us. If you want, I got more in a grinder. After the blood, you can call me a highness. I live life how I wanna. Smoke lots of marijuana. I live my life in these streets, licking smoke out the window. I'm on a trail. Maybe I'm a gunner, cause I live in yonder. Hot box like a sauna in a